is to help people move their lives from where they are right now to where they want to be. So your near life business right now is a direct reflection of the action you have been taking and the skills that you currently have. And it's the activities you have not been doing, it's the skills that you're still to develop that will take your business to the next level. So tonight I want to start off by talking about doing the little things to create big success. And a big misconception or misunderstanding is that success comes from doing something one time, doing something and getting lucky and achieving success. But it couldn't be any further from the truth. Success comes from doing the little activities daily. But here is why so many people live a lifetime of mediocrity. The little things are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. The little things are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. So I'm just going to ask you all just to pull out grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper, so you can make some notes this evening, so you can take these notes away and you can learn from this webinar as the weeks go by. But I was in a hotel room a few months ago and I was watching a documentary on Usain Bolt, the fastest man on the planet. And it was fascinating because he burst onto the scene in 2008 as a 22-year-old and he broke all world records. And all of a sudden, he was this overnight success. And people just perceived him as this freak of nature who had this incredible genetic makeup that just made him successful. But this documentary went into the 10 years prior to the 2008 Olympic Games, where every single day from the age of 10 or 12, he would get up every single day and you'd go and spend 6 to 8 hours a day on the track. He would be puking on the side of the track because he had been training so hard. When he was a teenager, his friends would be going out at night. They would have girlfriends. They'd be buying new cars and having fun. But he would be training all day, and then he would go home at night and he would get an early night's rest and he would eat good food so he could get up the next morning and do the little things that would create him big success. And he did this whether he felt like doing it or he didn't feel like doing it, because he understood that it was the little things that would bring him big success. And so how many of you on the call have actually bought yourself a gym membership? Do you get muscles from just going into the gym? No, you got to go into the gym and you got to lift the weights. And how many people come into near life and they don't make any money? What are they doing? They're not lifting the weights. And the weights in near life are the 3 daily success habits. Number 1, use the products. Number 2, share the product and share the opportunity. And number 3, get better at these activities through personal development. And tonight I'm going to be focusing specifically on habit number 3, your personal development. And I know personal development involves many things, such as your mindset, your attitude, your thinking, your self-talk, your vision, your goals. But one of the key areas, I believe, of your personal development is becoming better at doing habits number 1 and 2. Napoleon Hill talks about dreams. And he says, the greatest achievement was but just a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn. The bird waits in the egg. The dreams you have today are the seedlings of your future reality. He goes on to say, to turn these dreams into reality, you need to become a practical dreamer. To turn these dreams into reality, you need to become a practical dreamer. And this is what I love about this near life opportunity. If you have a dream, no matter how big or small that dream may be, you can turn that dream into reality by practically implementing these 3 daily success habits into your life every single day. Using the product, sharing the product and opportunity, and developing yourself personally. So let's break them down. Starting with your use the product. How many of you think that this sounds like a simple one? Become your own best customer. become a product of the product. If you don't believe in your product, how are you ever going to get anyone else to believe in your product? Yet I'm amazed as to how many people don't use the product consistently. And whenever I have a coaching session with a distributor, who they might be a new distributor, or they might be somebody who's been in the business for a little while, and then they might be a little bit stuck. Maybe they're not getting the results that they're truly capable of. I'll always try and do that coaching session in their home. Because when I go into the home, I can have a look on the kitchen sink. And you know what I often see? I often see something other than LDC to wash their dishes. I can have a little sneak peek on their washing machine. And very often I see something other than G1 to wash their clothes with. And immediately it tells me one thing: they don't have integrity, because they are telling other people and people in their teams that they've got to use the product, but they aren't doing the daily success habit number one themselves. And therefore, their success is going to be limited and short-lived. So the product, doing step number one, use the product, it's something that is very easy to do, but it's also very easy not to do. And so I believe that every single one of us on this call, every day, every week, every month, we should be striving to becoming or be getting better product users. After all, we are in the health and the wellness business, and every one of us should be getting fitter. We should be improving our body fat ratio. We should be adding more muscle. We should be looking younger. We should be feeling more energetic. That is what the VisionLife product can do for you. And so become a product of your product. And just today, I had my Discovery Health check. And for somebody who is approaching 40, my cholesterol was perfect. I had no bad cholesterol. In fact, my bad cholesterol produced no reading. My blood sugar levels were perfect. And I believe that is the case because I have become a product of the product. And so that's something that we can all work on becoming better at. Habit number one. Number two, in VisionLife, you get paid to share the product and the opportunity. And I'll tell you a little story. I was at a network marketing profession convention, and they had a panel of 10 people on stage. And every one of these 10 panelists were individuals that were earning $100,000 or more from their network marketing business every single month. And these 10 panelists all had something in common. They all had sponsored at least 100 people personally. Some of them had done it in 3 years. Some of them had done it over 5 years. Some of them had taken 10 years to sponsor 100 people personally. But what they all said was they had become masters at sharing their product and the opportunity. And they had shared their product opportunity or opportunity with enough people until they had sponsored over 100 people personally. And of the 100 people personally, they had found their 3 or 4 key business builders that had helped them generate a business that was earning them over $100,000 every single month. So I have a question for you. If I randomly phoned you up tomorrow morning or this evening after this call, and I asked you to share your product or your opportunity with me, would you be able to do it? Could you do it confidently? And if that question makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, that's a good thing. And that means that you need to develop, or you have identified that you need to learn the skill of sharing your product and your opportunity. So there's a process to doing that. So let's over the next couple of minutes look at the process of sharing the VisionLife product or sharing the VisionLife opportunity. And it starts with step number one, which is your name list. Who do you know? Because you have to have people that you're going to talk to or you're going to share your product or your opportunity with. Who do you know? And as a VisionLife distributor that is actively building their business, having a name list is your first step. And on that name list, you start with the people you know. Now, the funny thing is, very often we practice on the people we know. We don't necessarily get the results with the people we know. And with most people that are successful in the near life business, the funny thing is they've grown their business with people that they have met along the way. But you need to start off with, who do you know? Secondly, how are you going to meet new people to add to that name list? Because if you write 10 names onto your name list, you will very quickly talk to those 10 people. And if you haven't added to that name list, you're out of business. So you need to keep what we call a dynamic and an active name list, where you are adding people to that name list constantly. How are you going to meet new people to add to that name list? And that starts off with your attitude. And you're either going to be attractive to people, or you're going to be repelling people. And the easiest way that I know to attract people is to smile. And I know we can't see each other right now, so it's quite hard to demonstrate. But when you're out and about day to day, just lift your chin up an inch or two. Stop looking into your phone or onto the ground. Look into people's eyes. And you don't have to do this in a crazy way, but just give people a smile. Connect with them. Make some eye contact and say, hey, how are you doing? Ask them a question. We need to be a friend to make a friend. And your attitude is either going to attract people, or it's going to repel people. So the easiest way that I know to meet people is to just get yourself out there, have the confidence to look somebody in the eye, have a little smile, and say, hi, how are you doing? And what is amazing is people are so receptive. People actually want to engage. And I know we're so distracted by technology and so many other things. People want to engage on a one-to-one personal level, and you just need to have the confidence to initiate that engagement. The next thing is ask people questions. Something that I've learned is people love to talk about themselves. And the good Lord has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we need to use them in that ratio. And we do that by asking people questions and then listening for their answer. Because very often in people's answers, they are giving you all their problems, all their needs, all their requirements. And our business is about solving problems. We can help people become healthier, and we can help people solve their financial issues. But we need to find out what our prospects' needs are. And different stages of life bring different needs. If you're talking to somebody who is young, maybe they've just finished college or university, they have student debt that they need to get rid of. Maybe they now have their education and they are out in a world of unemployment. So they're educated, but they don't have a source of income. Okay, you've identified a need. Maybe you're talking to a couple who are in their mid-30s to 40s. They're married, they have a mortgage, their living expenses are going up, their kids are going from primary school to high school, or high school to university, so their education fees are going up, so they need another source of income. Listen to what they're telling you. Maybe you're talking to somebody who is a baby boomer, and they're coming to the end of their working career, and they have worked for the last 40 years, and what they thought they could retire on is no longer relevant in today's economy. And so they tell you that, hey, things are tight. Now you know that they need another source of income. So listen for people's needs, and you find their needs by asking them a question and listening to what they say to you. Then ask them another question. Listen to what they say to you. Ask them another question. And by you asking the questions and letting them do all the talking, you're not only getting all their needs and requirements, but you're becoming a friend, and you're becoming somebody that they trust. Okay. Now, in saying this, you don't jump on them straight away and say, hey, I've got the best business for you. I've got the best product for you. You ask questions and you listen. Okay. So that's step number 1, name list. Who do you know, and how are you going to meet new people to add to that name list? Step 2, invite. effectively be able to invite people to look at your product or your opportunity based on their needs. Okay, effectively be able to invite people to look at your product or your opportunity based on their needs. To do this, you need to know what tools are available to you. Now, in the past, we've used a lot of meetings, near-life opportunity meetings, experience meetings, and these meetings are very, very important. But we have other tools nowadays that that can help us or assist you in sharing your opportunity or product. Get to know these tools. And if you're on the call tonight, I will be sending out a document to you via email with all the links to these various tools. Okay, but there's a few that I want to run through. The first one is Charged Up on Good Nutrition. This is a 4-minute video that explains our product and explains our business concept. It's animated, it's captivating, and it's only 4 minutes. Then we have many webinar recordings. We have live webinars and we have webinar recordings, such as a children's nutrition webinar. We have a family nutrition webinar recording. We have business presentations that are recorded. You could invite somebody to a one-on-one presentation with yourself, or maybe yourself and your sponsor. You could invite somebody to attend a near-life experience meeting, or invite them to a near-life opportunity meeting, or to a nutrition talk at your home or at a coffee shop. These are the tools that we use that we can invite our people to look at. Let's have a look at a few of the inviting scripts. Okay. Now, I'm not a huge fan of scripts, but what I do believe in is for people who are just starting out in the business, learning how to invite is a skill, and a script can give you structure. Okay. Now you need to bring your personality and your relationships into the script, but I'm just going to use the script on this call to give you an idea and some structure as to how I would go about inviting somebody to look at my product or opportunity. So I'll go straight into this example. Hi, Mary, it's Drew speaking. I've been thinking so much about the conversation we had yesterday at School Collection. I only have a minute, but you mentioned that your daughter was really finding it difficult to study for the up-and-coming exams. I have something that I think may help you. If I send you a link to a 20-minute YouTube video, would you find that time to watch it? Great. I'll email you the video link now. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? Wait for Mary to give you a time. Perfect. If you can watch it tonight, I'll give you a follow-up call tomorrow around 8 a.m. to get your thoughts. Does that work for you? Okay. Now that is a very basic script. I'm going to break it down for you. The first section, hi Mary, it's Drew speaking. I'm just introducing myself so Mary knows who's on the phone. Now I'll say to Mary, I only have a minute, and I do this for a very specific reason, because I want Mary to know that this is a short and brief call. I don't have much time to talk. I don't want this call to become a questions and answer session. Okay. And then I say, you mentioned that your daughter was finding it difficult to study. I'm reconfirming the need that she has told me. Okay, remember I spoke about finding out their needs and their wants. I'm reconfirming what she has told me. And then I tell her that I have something which I believe will help. I have something that I think may help. Now you'll notice I don't say to her, I've got a product that is the best in the world and is going to make your daughter concentrate better. And I do this for a reason, because as soon as you say to somebody, you got the best product or the best business opportunity, they go into defensive mode, and you're saying that, but in their head they're saying, no, you don't. So you say to them, I think I have something which may help, or I think I have something that may be of value to you. If I send you a 20-minute YouTube video, would you find the time to watch it? Now you're asking them a question. If I, would you? And you wait for them to give you an answer. And they normally say yes, because you have exposed a need and you've offered them something which might help them fulfill that need. And when they say yes, say, great, I will send you the link now, and ask them, when will they be able to watch it? Okay. And you ask them this for a very specific reason, because If I send you a video link to watch, I guarantee you, I bet my house on it, you won't watch that video because our lives are busy and we just mean to get around to it, but we don't get around to it. Okay, so you want to commit Mary to a time to watching that. And when she commits that time to you, you say, perfect. If you watch it tonight, or if you are able to watch it at work tomorrow morning, I will give you a follow-up call around 8, give her time to get your thoughts. Does that work for you? Okay, so the end part of the script is vital because Mary is going to watch this video because she knows that at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Drew is going to be giving a call to find out what she thought of that video. Okay. Without that closing statement, Mary does not watch that video. I'll give you a couple of other examples. Let's say John. Hi, John. It's Drew speaking. Listen, I only have a minute to talk, but you mentioned at gym yesterday that your company was going through a retrenchment process and there was a whole lot of job uncertainty about your job situation. John, I have something which I think may be of interest or value to you. If I send you a 4-minute video clip, would you find the time to watch it? Fantastic. Okay, I'll send that clip to you right now. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? And if John says, okay, I'll watch it tomorrow morning at work, I'll say, okay, perfect. If you watch it tomorrow morning at work, I'll give you a follow-up call at lunchtime tomorrow. Does that work for you? Okay. Maybe I'm talking to Mike and Mike says he's a student and he has student debt. I'd say, hey, Mike, it's Drew speaking. Listen, I've been thinking about the conversation we had yesterday in the queue at the bank. I only have a minute, but you mentioned that you completed your studies, you can't find a job, you got student debt. I think I have something that you may be interested in. If I send you a 4-minute YouTube video, would you find the time to watch it? I'll wait for him to say yes. Fantastic. If you can watch it, if I send you that link now, when will you be able to watch that 4-minute video? I'll wait for his answer. Fantastic. If you watch it at lunchtime today, can I give you a call at 6 p.m. this evening to follow up and get your thoughts? Okay, so that is the basic structure to inviting a warm prospect to view your product or your business. Now let's look at something. What about a cold prospect? A cold prospect is somebody that you have just met and you might not know what their wants or their needs are. You haven't had time to establish that relationship to find out what they need. And this is just an example. Hi, John, it's Drew speaking. We met last week in the bank queue. I'm about to shoot out a meeting, so I only have a minute, but I really enjoyed our conversation, and I can tell you're a dynamic individual. I have something that I'm excited about that I think may be of value to you. If I send you a 4-minute video, 4-minute video to give you more detail, would you be able to watch it? I'll wait for his answer. Great, I'll send through the link now. When will you find the time to watch? Wait for his answer. Perfect. If you watch it tomorrow morning, can I give you a call around lunch to follow up? Okay. Now, it's just the same thing. It's just slightly adjusted. I don't know what his need is. And so what I do is I pay him a compliment. And now this is the funny thing. When you pay people compliments, make it a sincere compliment. Okay. I've used, I really enjoyed our conversation. And I can tell you're a dynamic individual. I might say, I can tell that you are a people's person. Or I can tell that you are a mother that is super with her kids. I have something which I think may be of value to you. Make sure their compliment is sincere. Okay, so those are the inviting scripts. There is a format that I use, but like I say, bring your personality, bring your passion, bring your relationships skills to these inviting scripts and make them your own. Okay. And step 3, the follow-up. Always make the follow-up call at the agreed time. And so often I see people go through, make the invite to show the product or the business, and they never follow through with the follow-up call. And that is you might as well not even do the invite if you're not going to make the follow-up call. The follow-up call completes the circle. Always make the follow-up call at the agreed time. On average, people will look at the product or the opportunity 5 times before making a purchase or joining. Okay, now I mention that for a reason, because very often people in our business will invite somebody to look at the product or to watch a video, or to get them to a nutrition talk or near life experience or opportunity meeting, and that's it. They leave it there. But that's just the first exposure. Okay, and you got to think of yourself as a tour guide, a near life tour guide, where you keep on following up and keep inviting them to the next exposure until you get a yes or a no. Okay, you keep inviting them to the next exposure until you get a yes or a no. And I'll go back to my first example with Mary, where she was concerned about her daughter studying for exams and her concentration. So I invited Mary to watch our recorded children's nutrition webinar, where Dr. Andre Comrie talks about kids, their nutrition, and how nutrition can improve their concentration. And so when I follow up with Mary, I'll ask her a question. So Mary, did you watch the video? Now, if she says no, I will just repeat the process. I'll say, okay, no problem. When will you find the time to watch it? And I'll wait for her to give me an answer. And if she says, well, I can watch it when I get home from work tonight, I'll say, fantastic. If you watch it tonight after work, can I give you a call at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to follow up? I guarantee you Mary will watch the video the second time, because she knows that you are going to keep your promise and you're going to follow up with that follow-up call. So just repeat the process. But let's say she watched the video. I won't ask her what did she think, because she'll immediately tell me what she didn't like about the video or the presentation. The question I ask is, so what did you like most? And I sit back and I listen for her answer, because her answer is going to point me in the direction of my follow-up. And she might say, wow, that omega-3 that the doctor spoke about, that's exactly what is missing from her diet. Okay, now I know she is focused on the omega-3. I can either make a sale on that omega-3, or she might say, wow, that was so interesting. And then they tested me at the end of the webinar, spoke about that housewife that she joined to lose weight, but now she is supplementing their household income. That was fascinating. Now that is telling me that Mary is actually interested in the business, not just the product. And so I will, number one, try and close Mary at that point and either get her to make a purchase or to join the Near Life community. But if she doesn't do that, I'll say, okay, Mary, well, that was obviously of value to you. I would you be able to join me on Saturday morning at a nutrition seminar where you'll see a nutrition expert talking on family nutrition? I know will be of value to you. I'll invite her to the next exposure. Okay. Or I might say, Mary, that's fantastic. Would you like to sit down and have a cup of coffee with myself? And we can discuss this further. Or Mary, hey, there's another video which may be of value to you, which actually explains the business opportunity that the lady was talking about. So I will keep inviting to the next exposure until they say yes or no. Now, in saying this, you don't want to become a nag. You need to develop awareness. And what I always teach my distributors is we're not doing this to make money. We're doing this to add value, because when you are adding value, your business will grow. So invite them to the next exposure because you want to add value into their lives, and make sure that they are aware that you are trying to add value into their lives. Okay. So number one, your names list. Number one, be able to invite people effectively to have a look at your business or your product. And number three, be able to follow up effectively. And keep on following up and become a master follower-upper until you get a yes or until you get a no. Now, I had to share the business probably 10 times before anyone was even remotely interested. And once I got my first person signed in, the second one came a little bit easier. The third one came a little bit easier than that. But here's the funny thing. Most people will share the opportunity or product 1, 2, or maybe 3 times. And if they don't get a yes, they quit. And they quit before they have lifted any weights. Okay. Maybe they don't quit VisionLife. They just quit sharing the product or sharing the opportunity. Until you have presented your product or opportunity, or until you have shared your product or opportunity 20, 30, 40 times, you're still just figuring it out. And success isn't about what you do occasionally. It's about what you do consistently. So put your head down and do the job for 18 months. Put your head down and lift the weights for 18 months. You're not going to be perfect. You will make mistakes. But in our business, the learning is in the doing. You have to put your knowledge into action to turn that knowledge into a skill. Okay? So what you have learned on the call tonight, that is just knowledge. But until you take this knowledge and you apply it and you put it into action, it will remain just knowledge. But when you put that knowledge into action, it will turn into a skill. And that is how you monetize your knowledge, is when you turn your knowledge into a skill. And what I love most about this business is anyone can get to the top. And I was presenting this opportunity in Johannesburg just last week to 2 insurance salesmen. And I was drawing the circles. And one of them said, this is it's a pyramid, isn't it? And it was funny because he seemed very excited about it. And he said, this is a pyramid scheme. The people at the top make all the money. And I said, yeah, absolutely. The people at the top make all the money. Just as any organization, the CEO is going to make more money than the person who is just a worker. The world's number 1 golfer makes more money than the person ranked number 100 in the world. And it's the same in this business. But if you go and do the 3 daily success habits more than anyone else, you'll become better at them than anyone else. And you'll start making more money than anyone else. It's that simple. And so it doesn't matter. Our business is, it doesn't matter if you come into our business as a professional, as a doctor, as a lawyer, as an accountant, or if you come into this business as a nurse, as a teacher, as a white-collar worker, or if you come into this business where you haven't even finished your formal education, if you apply the 3 daily success habits into your life consistently, and you become the best at sharing this product and the opportunity, you will become one of the top earners. And Tony Robbins says, I believe life is constantly testing us for our level of commitment. And life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who demonstrate a never-ending commitment to act until they achieve. This level of resolve can move mountains, but it must be constant and it must be consistent. Life is consistently testing us for our level of commitment, and life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who demonstrate a never-ending commitment to act until they achieve. VisionLife is a place where you can get healthier. VisionLife is a place where you can make more money. VisionLife is a place where you can make a positive difference in your community and other people's lives. And VisionLife is a place where you can hang around optimistic, charismatic people who have hope for a better tomorrow. And you can do this as part of your job. And I mean, come on. Most people can't say that about their job. Most people can't say about that about their business. So let's go out there boldly into our communities and make the world a healthier and a happier place and end the trend of chronic disease. That is our mission. So I just want to thank you all for your time this evening. Thank you for being on this call. Our wish for you is that 2017 becomes the year of results and that you become a practical dreamer and you apply these 3 daily success habits into your life and you become a master sharer of this product, the VisionLife product and the VisionLife opportunity, and that you become a top earner in the VisionLife organization. God bless and have yourself a wonderful evening.